Vasa was an early example of a warship with 2 full gun decks, and was built when the theoretical principles of shipbuilding were still poorly understood. In Sweden and many other European countries, a ship would normally not own its guns, but would be issued armament from the armory for every campaign season. Ships were therefore usually fitted with guns of very diverse age and size. On the 10th of August 1628, Captain Sufrig Hansen ordered Vasa to depart on her maiden voyage to the naval station at Älvsnabben. The day was calm, and the only wind was a slight breeze from the southwest. The ship was warped along the western waterfront to the city to the southern side of the harbor, where 4 sails were set, and the ship made way to the east. The gun ports were open, and the guns were out to fire a salute as the ship left Stockholm. As Vasa passed under the lee of the bluffs to the south, a gust of wind filled her sail, and she heeled suddenly to port. At Tegelviken, an even stronger gust again forced the ship onto its port side, this time pushing the open lower gun ports under the water, allowing water to rush in onto the lower gun deck. The ship quickly sank to a depth of 105 feet, only 390 feet from the shore. Survivors clung to debris or the upper mast, which were still above the surface, to save themselves, and many nearby boats rushed to their aid, but despite these efforts and the short distance to land, 30 people perished with the ship. Vasa sank in full view of a crowd of hundreds, if not thousands. Less than 3 days after the disaster, a contract was signed for the ship to be raised. However, those efforts were unsuccessful. In 1844, the Navy officer Anton Ludwig van den Helm turned in a request for salvaging rights to the ship, claiming he had located it. Van den Helm was an inventor who designed an early form of light diving suit and had previously been involved in other salvage operations, and a commercial salvage company applied for a permit to raise or salvage the wreck in 1920, but this was turned down. The Vasa Committee was established to investigate the possibility of raising and preserving the ship, and archaeologist Anders Franzin persuaded the Navy, the National Heritage Board, the National Maritime Museum, and a large private salvage company, the Neptune Company, backed the project. Over the course of a year and a half, a small team of commercial divers cleared debris and mud from the upper decks to lighten the ship, and made the hull as watertight as possible. The final lift began on the 8th of April 1961, and on the morning of the 24th of April, Vasa was ready to return to the world for the first time in 333 years. Press from all over the world, televised cameras, 400 invited guests on barges and boats, and thousands of spectators on shore watched as the first timbers broke the surface. The ship was then emptied of water and mud and towed to the Gustav V dry deck on Beckleholm. From the end of 1961 to December 1988, Vasa was housed in a temporary facility called the Vasa Shipyard. In 1981, the Swedish government decided that a permanent building was to be constructed, and a design competition was organized. Ground broke in 1987, and Vasa was towed into the half-finished Vasa Museum in December 1988. The museum was officially opened to the public in 1990.